And we're back with another episode of Before You Buy. That show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. You know, we're talking about Chivalry 2 today. This is developed by Torn Banner Studios with Tripwire Interactive and Deep Silver behind it. The original released in 2012, which was actually a spin-off of a Half-Life 2 mod, Age of Chivalry. Now here, with Chivalry 2 in 2021, it goes big, man. Massive battles, fancy graphics, lots of gore, and straight up, it's a really fun, good time. Now, many people might be coming here knowing about Mordhau, the PC medieval combat simulator that blew up on Steam a few years ago. I played a bit of that. I didn't do the Before You Buy on it or anything, but I want to acknowledge it before moving on. I'm not going to compare it throughout other than right at the start here. Chivalry 2 is a bit more accessible, a bit more easy to pick up, less hardcore, and more spectacle and casual fun. So if you want something insane, you want to spend 100 hours in it to get good, that's Mordhau. If you bounced off of that though and weren't into it, you might still like Chivalry. I've been having a ton of fun with it. There are some more technical and content issues we can talk about, but from a raw fun factor standpoint, I've been having a blast, and guys, sometimes fun factor is the most important thing, and we forget about it. Spoiler warning, but I can totally recommend the game. I'm absolutely terrible at it, but that's half the fun. I've been binging this game since it went live on PC and some on console, and I definitely recommend it, at least to some types of players. So, it's all multiplayer, that's it. It's massive, large-scale battles with up to 64 players, which, if anyone drops out, is replaced by bots, and it's just a massive amount of players trying to kill each other with swords and axes and arrows and other medieval weapons. There are objectives, of course. Usually it's an evenly matched battle in a field, or you're trying to stay on the payload to slowly push it towards the objective, or maybe you're defending a village or a castle from a siege. There's a good amount of stuff to do, considering it's really simple when you boil it down. Just kill men with swords, chop off their heads. But the combat is the meat and potatoes, and it's messy and it's violent, but it can be fun and really challenging. There's a bit to it. You can block. It's actually a constant block you can hold down, but you have to manage a stamina meter, all while you time your blocks and your directional movements towards your attacker while also swinging left and right, overhead, or a stab. These can be held down to charge for longer hits, and you can also feint your attacks to trick your opponent. Then the bigger you swing, if you also move your camera from left to right, for example, you can also do a wider swing and strike multiple opponents. You can also combo with proper timed button presses, and you can interrupt a combo if you're on the other end of it by kicking your opponent. Now, blocking and riposts are the name of the game, really, as you get into some drawn-out exchanges between players. Clashing swords and being equally matched with someone else is incredibly fun. There's also a bit of a matching up too. You know, the game really does have rules where certain things have a bigger window of opportunity, some things cancel out other things, etc., etc. There's a lot to get into, but I will say the tutorial did a really good job of explaining it all and was actually pretty funny too. Now, when there's 10 or more players in a crowd, it does get messy and it does get pretty stupid, and you do get penalized for striking teammates. You can't accidentally massacre your friend immediately. It's a bit forgiving, but you can still cause significant damage, and you need to be careful. Also, sometimes you can lose a limb and keep fighting for a bit. I love seeing stuff like that. Now, melee combat is responsive, it's heavy, it's direct, with good feedback and good visual cues and sound effects that let you just really get into it. Now, I said getting into it with multiple opponents can be messy and stupid, but when you're squaring off against just 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 dudes, it feels way more fair. Honestly, this game does an incredible job of making you feel like, with some skill, you can still be in control and fend off 3 dudes. It's really impressive how well this game handles it. Now, me personally, if it's me against 2 or 3, I don't typically survive because I suck, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like I got ganged up on or it was bullshit. I'm able to defend myself competently, and so going down in a blaze of glory still feels satisfying because I was able to hold my own, especially when you get hacked up to pieces. It just looks really cool. I don't know, I like dying. Still, you die a lot, but there's a bit of stuff keeping you in the action because players can heal themselves, and on top of that, you can also get downed and get revived even though most of the time you end up just getting slaughtered immediately. But hey, it's nice that they included that. And of course, I forgot to mention, you can do all of this in first or third person, which is nice. I really prefer first person. I don't know what that means, but hey, options are good. You do also have legit abilities this time around. Each character has an ability that has to charge, like defensive spikes, an area effect heal for teammates, resupplies, a fire pit type thing you can plunk down to light arrows on fire if you are doing ranged. But the abilities are tied to classes, which each one is pretty comprehensive and specific. Each one has its own like kind of perk style things, its own weapon sets, and of course like the ability thing I mentioned earlier. But then when you use them, you can also level up your way towards subclasses of that class with slight differences like tweaked stats, crazier versions of weapons you're already using or used to, or a different ability that you might want. There's a good mix so far, and nothing has really felt disappointing. Each class and even subclass has their own learning curve that seems nice to dive into, and they all kind of have their own uses and naturally take their place of significance out on the battlefield. The maps seem good, the playlists and matchmaking seem decent. I do want to see ranked competitive matches though. You know, I'm fine with casual play, but I think for some people it's going to be a must. On the flip side though, it is good that there's a server browser. I very much appreciate that, and the way you can hop into matchmaking and just play ever rotating objectives is nice. You can basically just hit play and continuously play with full variety and continuous killing between maps, objectives, and sides. And that, for me, was just where the fun lied. Just a good, relaxing time. I don't need to pay attention to a story or worry about stats sometimes. I can just relax and hop into this game for some friendly competition and just hack and slash my way around and level up a character. It's the perfect blend of being fairly easy to pick up, but a bit tricky to master. Cross-platform partying doesn't seem to really be a thing. The developers have said that they are working on it, but it wasn't ready for launch. But just be warned that if you're jumping in immediately and you want to play on PC with your friend who's playing on Xbox or something, there are seemingly some kinks that need to be worked out. There is some built-in communication and actions, but the main thing is just making your character do hilarious battle cries and shouting, which leads me to the fun of it all. The chaos that this game can create, man, with the over-the-top gore and heads and arms and legs getting chopped off, with good ragdoll physics, with traps in certain maps, which are my favorite. All this makes the game even more good for some laugh-out-loud moments. You can pick up objects and throw them. I've had the opposing team trying to knock down our gates, so from above, we picked up rocks and dropped it on dudes' heads. I've thrown horse poop at people. I've killed a dude with a barrel. I threw it at his face and it knocked him off a cliff. Someone murdered me with a giant decorative candlestick. It's all good physics and systems-based fun, while at the same time feeling like an immersive battle game. I haven't experienced tons of strategy or communication with teammates yet, but I know it can be there. The game is begging for it to be embraced and taken seriously, and I think it can get there, like a lot of other games in this genre. But whether you're taking it seriously or not, I think it's fun either way. Also, speaking of communication, the game does support crossplay, meaning you should always have a decent time finding matches in theory. It seems like there are currently some issues with PS4 and PS5 communication. Hopefully that will be fixed soon. I expect multiplayer stuff like that to get fixed pretty easily. I also saw some people having some launch server issues, but personally, upon launch, I didn't have many problems at all, other than on the side of that, just kind of like some weird glitches here and there. Nothing game-breaking or super distracting, just like a few floating limbs here and there. I think there is potential for a lot more here, though, in general. More strategy, like I said, more modes, more stuff to grind towards, because there is cosmetic stuff that you can work to earn coins and buy. Thankfully, they don't change the game at all, and there are some cool armor sets, but I just love to see more. None of it is lacking at all. It's not a barren game at all, content-wise. I just see the potential, and I can't wait to see what else the developers can throw at this formula, because the foundation is great and pretty fun. And honestly, for the price too, it's not a full-priced game, so to just hop in and have some high-quality sword clashing with some satisfying combat and some decent challenge, and honestly some pretty good graphics, I just really dig it all, the whole package. And for console players to have access to a game like this, something you typically only see for the hardcore PC crowd, it's really nice, especially considering the control scheme translates pretty well to console. I noticed from bouncing back and forth. That's not always a given. But if I haven't emphasized this enough, Chivalry 2 is just straight up fun. I have been playing the hell out of this game since launch, and I plan to continue doing that once I finish making videos for Ratchet & Clank, of course. But it's a game where the loop and the core gameplay mechanics are just a ton of fun if you want to turn your brain off and kill some dudes. And sometimes that's really important. Not in real life, but only in video games. Anyway, that's a before you buy. You know how this works by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Let me know what you think of Chivalry 2. Let me know what you think of it compared to the first game. Let me know what you think of it compared to Moorhead. Why not? Because I know some PC players are going to come in and compare it. I think they are very much two different types of games for two different types of players, but still, it's an interesting conversation. Let's talk anything Chivalry. We want to hear from you guys. Now, if this video did help steer you towards a decision or inform you at all, clicking the like button is all you got to do. It helps us out. We would appreciate that. And if you're new, maybe consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But as always, I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.